Hi there, Facebook land and LinkedIn land and YouTube world. I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim.
We're from A Teak of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated.
Woohoo!
Ooh, it's been a while since we've done that.
Oh my goodness. I was just like, how long has it been?
It's been a little while.
I want to say it's been almost a month.
Yes.
I think it has.
Yes, between our various and sundry activities,
Yeah.
it's been a while since we've been able to do that. So hopefully everybody enjoyed that moment. I did. Did you?
Sure.
Yeah. Sitting the throw right at my leg.
Oh, yeah. All right. They could have used you on CNN Plus.
Yes, they could have.
Maybe they would have lasted more than 3 weeks.
I doubt it. I don't think they were destined to last much longer than that anyway. And my presence, it could have helped in perhaps attracting a different audience.
That's true.
Maybe. But
yeah,
I don't think I would have helped much.
It was 3 weeks, so I'm wondering what the over/under was on that. I should ask Greg. He probably put a bet on that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, if it had been me in there, they'd probably been going, "How'd this guy get in here?" So this guy's just crazy.
I ask myself that on a regular.
Well,
regular basis. How did this guy get in here?
I don't know.
So we're back.
Yes.
Both of us together.
Yep, together. First time in a while. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And we'll see how long that lasts for.
Yeah, that's true.
Although next week, our buddy Mike is going to be on.
That's true.
Here.
Mike Rabinowitz.
Mike Rabinowitz is going to be on here with us.
So that'll be fun.
It will be fun. Great guy.
Yeah, Mike's fun.
Great guy. Former police officer. He retired. He's down in the Charlotte area. Wonderful speaker. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to that. This past weekend, we were at a Toastmasters spring conference.
Yes.
District 13.
We were in Cranberry.
Yes, they had their spring conference.
Yep.
It was hybrid.
Yes.
And the first time since 2019 that we were face to face.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And brought some people in because last year's was online. The year before that, they canceled it.
Yes.
The year before
that was the one.
We were the conference chairs.
The conference chairs. And we were not even a month away.
We were less than a month away.
We had put in so much work, and then COVID showed up and just wiped it all away in a moment. It was amazing. Because we were still, even as it was spreading and things were shutting down, we were still going forward as if this was going to happen. And I think it's because we had the assumption that, hey, we might get this finished before everything collapses. And it didn't.
Nope.
And a lot of hard work just went poof in moments. It happens.
Oh.
It happens. There was not much you could do about it.
And then last year they did it virtually.
Yes.
That was different. And then this year they did a hybrid version of it. So kind of cool to see the evolution of it all. I suspect they keep telling us they're moving forward. Everything's going to be hybrid for them.
Yeah, sounds like it. And
for those of you who know what it's like to do an in-person conference, B, an online virtual conference, if you have to do the C, hybrid, you realize it's way more work than just the in-person or just the virtual.
Yeah.
It's
a ton of work. Yes. And hybrid is always very time consuming.
Yes.
Sometimes very frustrating for the people having to set it up and trying to make it appear to all of the folks online that everything is seamless. It is difficult. It is a lot of work. So anytime that you are participating in a hybrid event, and in particular, if you're part of the online group, thank all of the people involved with setting it up, because they are working like crazy and worrying every moment. Yeah.
And
all what can go wrong, because something's going to go wrong.
Everything going on in the background is just
Yeah. So make sure you thank those people because they are working extremely hard.
Yeah. One of the suggestions I had for District 13, and I think they're probably going to start doing this, is to designate one person for the Toastmasters year to be the person who engages people online.
Yeah.
Because what happens in a hybrid environment is you either don't pay attention to the people who are face to face or you don't pay attention to the people who are online.
Yeah.
It's very difficult unless you have people who are designated to keep everyone engaged, to keep the conversations going either in the room or online. It's hard to do both if you don't have people assigned to that.
Right.
And that's one of the big suggestions I have for hybrid events is literally figure out who can be your point person for keeping things going online while you have these lags in time on the in-person end. So, yeah.
So now on the upside of all of that is every year during the conference, we have speech contests.
Yay.
Yeah. And last year it was all virtual, which was very different. And the year before that, we were in person until everything shut down.
Yeah.
And so we didn't even have the speech contest 2 years ago.
Not at the district level.
Not at the district level or I don't know if any of the divisions got it in.
I think
we did not.
Think one, maybe two of them.
Yeah, we did not. We got through area and then we got shut down. Yeah. We were shut down. But this year, we were back in person.
Mm-hmm.
And the great thing for all of the contestants is we didn't have to worry about the online audience. All of the judges were in person. Mm-hmm. All of the contestants were in person. So all we had to focus on, and I say we because I participated, all we had to focus on was people in front of us. Yep. And it was wonderful. It was great being back in that environment. I am not keen on the online competition. It did not work for me at all.
No.
And if it came to that again, I would have to think long and hard about passing on being in a contest like that. There's just something about being in front of that live audience. That's the way it's supposed to be.
It's the feedback that you get.
And you're right. It's the feedback, the immediate feedback that you get from the audience.
And most people, when they're giving speeches, one of the things that you build into it is the feedback and the interaction that you have. That's one of the things that a good speaker will do is they'll make sure that they're including the audience in their speech, and they're eliciting feedback from them. They're eliciting comments from them. They're constantly wanting them to be involved in it and engaged in it.
Right. Plus, especially if you use any kind of humor in your speeches, and I often do, or at least I attempt to include humor. What's that supposed to mean?
You attempt a lot. Yes.
And you don't get that feedback of the laughter in the remote environment. We certainly didn't because those contests were done with all of the screens, cameras turned off and the microphones turned off. Yeah. So as I was going through my speech, the points that I thought were funny, I had no feedback to actually find out if they were funny or not. So I just pretended that they were. I just imagined everybody was laughing their heads off, but it was weird. Yeah. And, you're telling a joke, and what's the worst is when it's a killer. Oh, yeah. It's a killer. This is one that if I were in front of a live audience, people would be laughing. I would have to stop and wait for them to stop laughing before I moved on, because you know which ones are really funny and which ones are gonna get a chuckle.
It saves you time.
It does save time, but the problem is then you don't know once you finish the line how long you need to pause to let the laughter subside, because you can't hear any of it. And the problem is if nobody's laughing at the joke and you're waiting, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi.
They're looking at you.
After a while, they're looking at, why is he standing there?
Why isn't he doing it?
Why isn't he doing anything? Whereas when you're live, it's right there.
So this weekend was live.
It was all live.
And District 13 hosted 2 contests.
2 contests, I think every every district does that.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So I had the primary, which is the international speech contest,
yes, and then
that's the 5 to 7 minute prepared for the opportunity to go on to the international world championships and attempt to become the world champion of public speaking.
And then you have secondary.
Secondary, and this year our secondary contest was speech evaluation, and I guess I'm okay at that, but apparently not that good.
Dave is better.
Dave is better. Of course, Dave's been doing it,
Dave,
much longer than I have.
So our good friend Dave Jones, who's over there in the Johnstown area, he won.
He won. Yes, he did. Congratulations, Dave.
The speech evaluation contest. Did a great job.
He did.
And
then, I can't say that. I didn't see it. I guess he did a great job. He won.
I saw it. He did a great job. So. And then our good friend Sharon Joseph, who literally just lives right down the road from us in Connellsville, she won the international speech contest. And congratulations to
congratulations, Sharon.
What we wanted to talk about today is graciously winning and graciously losing, because you can have sore losers just as easily as you can have sore winners. And I think it's interesting when that happens. And the entire world sees it happen.
Yes.
That did not happen, by the way, this weekend. I don't want any of you to think.
No. There were no sore losers or ungracious winners that I could see.
I think,
but if there were, I didn't see it.
No. In the past, we've seen it.
In the past, we have seen it.
And it speaks volumes about
it does. Yes, it does.
So what does it take to be like you said, a gracious winner or a gracious loser?
I think it's two different things.
I think you're right, because you've had to be both.
I've been on both ends of that, and I think with being a winner, you have to be humble. You have to understand that all of these other people that you were competing against, they were out there trying just as hard as you did. And they're disappointed. I don't care what anybody ever says. When they're calling out the names of the winners and you don't hear your name, it hurts a little bit. And, because you put so much into it, especially once you get to that level. You have put so much into it, and especially for the prepared speeches.
Well, and it's the same for anything that you're competing
with. But it's anything. If you've really poured your heart and soul into it, it hurts when you don't win. It hurt. You can't tell me otherwise. Right. There's just a little thing inside of all of us that's going. You're disappointed, and it's a case of then looking at the everybody else, and not doing things like dancing in front of their face and going, woo,
See, when you're virtual,
when you're virtual, you can do that.
You can turn off the camera
and do it. Woo!
And you can do all of that. When you're face to face,
you can't do that.
Not so much.
And even though inside you're going,
you're doing the happy dance.
Outside you gotta stay cool and calm and collected, and not make people feel bad about what they have done. Be a gracious winner. And I think for this endeavor, and I think a lot of endeavors are like this, you also have to understand that you didn't do it by yourself.
No.
I cannot imagine anybody else goes through these contests and they prepare their speech and they deliver it in the mirror and they never, deliver it to anybody else.
And get feedback.
Yeah, and get feedback. If they're like me, they've got a team of people helping them.
Yeah.
And again, you're trying to put together and what you're doing and do the best that you possibly can. And they have all done the same. And so, the great thing is to congratulate everybody. And, and then also to look at the people who, did not win and, congratulate them on getting to that point. And then be aware that odds are pretty good that most of them are going to be back to try again next year.
Yeah.
And so you'll probably be seeing some of those folks again. So you certainly don't want to be rude and nasty, because you're going to make enemies of them.
Yeah.
And that's just not good. It's not good. But the main thing I think is to be humble in your victory.
Because the other thing that you need to keep in mind, and it's this way, and it doesn't matter what it is that you're competing in. It doesn't matter if it's a speech contest, doesn't matter if it's a race, it doesn't matter if it's, something work related or whatever. People are judging you.
They are.
And for some things, if it's an actual competition, you have actual judges. And when you have actual judges, how you've treated them in the past,
it will come back to haunt you, possibly.
Yes.
So that's why you want to be nice to everybody.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep that in mind.
People are human. And if those judges are carrying a grudge against you and you happen to show up right in front of them, and now in theory, they're supposed to put that aside and just judge you on what it is that you're doing.
But they don't.
They don't. So.
And that's why you need to be nice to everyone.
Yes, you do.
The flip side of that is losing. And I think that's the tougher one, personally. Winning, I think it's easy enough to.
Winning, you can come across as gloating.
You can.
If you do stuff and just taking it too far. I mean, it's one thing to be excited. It's another thing to push it in people's face. Thank you, Dave. We loved you. It was great seeing you in there. And we're happy that you won, by the way.
Yes, we're very happy.
And we'd love to know how your daughter did in the marathon.
Yeah.
But when it comes to losing.
Because that's what I did this weekend. I lost.
Yeah, you did. And it's important to be a gracious loser.
Yes.
And one of the first things you're going to want to do, and it doesn't even matter if you're in second place, because if you're in second place, you're the first biggest loser.
Yeah.
But if you come in, not first place, one of the first things you want to do is go and congratulate the winner.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the most important parts of this is just pushing aside what's going on in your head for that very moment and going and graciously congratulating the person who did win, because they earned it.
Right. And then sometimes you also have to realize, like with this competition, I was in the evaluation speech contest, and my evaluation skills are okay. I don't think they're anything spectacular. So I had no real expectations for this walking in. That makes it real easy to be a gracious loser when you didn't have any real expectations to begin with, and you knew that there were better people in the competition that are better at that than you are. And for me, the whole point is learning. It's picking up things from other people, figuring out how can I improve what I'm doing, not only for competition, but also for evaluations in the clubs, because I do end up doing a lot of evaluations, and it's something that I need to work on and get better at.
And when it comes to evaluations, it's not just evaluating other people, it's evaluating yourself. Because that's one of the good skills that you get from Toastmasters is the ability to evaluate how well other people are doing, what they are doing well, what they need to work on, but also doing that for yourself.
Yeah.
And having that skill, that's a transferable skill. Whenever you talk about transferable skills, communication skills are always going to be there. Leadership skills are always going to be there. Evaluation skills, though, are something that you can transfer to the real world. And that's something that you can use just about everywhere. So good point. When you can evaluate not only others but yourself and different projects and how well things are going, that's going to be important.
So, and then like I said, the other half of that is even when you thought you were going to win or you had a shot at winning and you didn't, being very gracious in that and realizing that the whole point of this is supposed to be to have fun. Well,
and Aaron Beverly told you,
don't tell them what Aaron told me.
Aaron Beverly told you, do the best you can.
Oh, you're giving away secrets.
You do the best you can. That's it. And when you do your best, that you now know you did your best.
Yeah, no, he said don't focus on winning, just focus on delivering the best speech
you do the best that you can. And it's that way no matter what type of competition you're in. You
Right.
do your best.
Right.
That's the reason why we just had the marathon this weekend in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
There's only going to be one winner. However, for those people who ran that marathon, many of them had their personal best. And that means they won for themselves.
Right.
Because they did the best that they ever have done.
Right.
And that's what's important. So keep that in mind. When you are competing against yourself, the best that you can do is the best that you can do.
Right.
Don't worry about the other people.
But the idea is to get better.
It is.
Keep improving.
And that you have control over.
Right.
You can control over how prepared you are. You can control what you do and how well you do. You can't control how others do.
Right.
And so doing the best that you can is all that you can do.
And then at least in something like that, that's very, objective.
Mm-hmm.
Your time on running. With these speech contests,
you have no idea.
You have no idea. You have no idea what the judges are going to say. You just don't know. Nope. You just don't know. You don't know what they're going to react to or respond to. Mm-hmm. You look at the trends, what they tend to respond to, what worked, what didn't.
Yeah, and the other thing is it's strictly up to the judges to determine that.
Right.
Because we know who won, and we know who came in second place and third place. And some of the speeches that I liked, they didn't come in first, second, or third.
Yeah.
I think the same with you.
Yeah.
So some things can be very subjective.
Yeah. and you have no control of it. So the only things you can do is, as Tony Horton likes to say, do your best and forget the rest.
Yep.
And that's.
So Dave's daughter did her best at the marathon.
Yay.
Congratulations. All right, so
yeah, we also saw Jing Humphreys.
Jing, she did a half marathon.
She did a half marathon.
Yeah, she did that.
It means her knees are in better shape than mine.
All right, so next week, Mike Rabinowitz on here.
Yes, that'll be fun.
Dave, we really need to get you on here one of these days. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
So Dave Jones, let us know what your availability is like on Mondays at 11. We'd love to have you on here. That way everybody can meet you.
Yeah.
But next week, Mike Rabinowitz, he'll be talking about communicating and communication skills. Great guy, fun guy.
Yes.
I love Mike. You're going to love his accent.
You'll like him.
Because he's from New York.
Yes. But he lives in North Carolina.
Now he does.
So
he retired down there.
So eventually he's going to, get rid of his accent.
No, he won't.
And he'll be speaking properly.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he will.
No.
Yeah, he will.
No.
That's what I look forward to whenever we move back down south is I get rid of my accent and
you don't have an accent.
Oh, sure I do. Ask anybody down there and go back to speaking properly like they do down south.
All right, everyone. So we will see you next week. If you need to get in touch with us in between now and then, where could they go to do that?
They can go to our website.
They could go to our website.
Fatigueofyourown.com.
Yes. Lots of cool stuff on there. There's a gift page on there.
Nice.
They could get some goodies on there if they want it.
Cool.
Check out some of the things that we got on there. Let us know if you need help with communication skills, leadership skills, team building. We're the people to go to.
Yes.
Reach out to us and let us know what we can do to help you. All right. I guess we will see you all next week. Until then, bye, Facebook land and LinkedIn land and YouTube world. Have a good week.